Hi, my name is Anna-Li Portman, and in this lesson on Finnish political culture and system, we will look at the government. The government in Finland has its own traditional building, which is opposite of the building of the university. And it's very pretty and sometimes even open to the public. And so it holds a position in the Finnish imagination where the government meets in these austere halls and makes wise decisions. Well, let's take a closer look. The characteristics of the Finnish governments in respect to other governments, especially in other European countries, is that the Finnish governments are different in their parliamentary support and the level of fragmentation within the government, which is usually fairly high, which then leads to the ideological diversity within the government. When the government is formed, the prime minister is elected by the parliament and thereafter formally appointed by the president. So this strengthens the role of the parliament in having a say how the government will function. The prime minister then makes a proposal to the president for other ministers whom the president appoints. Who can then be a minister? Well, the ministers have to be Finnish citizens and they have moral criteria. They have to be known for their integrity and for their ability to serve. Other words for the government are, of course, the cabinet or state council. And here you can see a picture of our current Prime Minister, Juha Sipilä. The impact of this multi-party governments and the fact that there can be such a vast array of ideological differences is that the pragmatic and consensual style of politics prevail. Regardless of the dividing line between government and opposition getting larger or having been increased, yet the consensus, the force of the consensus also, because that is at the core of the political culture, seems to prevail. The multi-party governments also mean that parties and their leaders are constantly engaged in a process of negotiation to find the compromises, to find the package deals that will allow the things to go forward. So what this then leads to in terms of elections, for instance, is that the parties do not present to the voters any pre-election alliances. So they don't say, we will not be in the government with this party or that party, or it's very, very rare. And therefore, there is this possibility of anyone being together with anyone else in the government, of all the registered parties, that is. So the parties are involved in the government formation, above all being involved in the bargaining between the political parties, for bargaining for power. There is an informal rule that says that the largest party will lead the negotiations and that the largest party will have the prime minister coming from its ranks, that being then the party leader. So the role of the party leaders has become especially important in electoral campaigns because everybody sees the elections also as an election about who is going to be the next prime minister. And therefore, leadership qualities, personal leadership qualities, come to the forefront because the question everybody asks is, could I imagine the leader of this party being our prime minister? And then that, of course, means that also the smaller parties are nearly automatically excluded from vying for the prime ministerial position. That then also means that Finnish parties are highly office-seeking in their behavior. So they have as their aim the prime minister's office, and they have as their aim the other ministries, so that all of them become a source of bargaining. And no Finnish party, like I said, is non-coalitionable. So before elections, anything is possible. The partisan cooperation, so that means party-based cooperation, will enhance the party's ability to defend their interest, the interests of their constituents, because they can negotiate. If we give you this, would you give us that? In the formation of the government and in the formation of the government program. But that also then leads to it being really a lot harder for the voters to know what they have actually voted for. Because by the time their party is negotiating about being in the government, there are some principles which might have to be compromised on. And there, the value of transparency and honesty is somewhat compromised, because a lot of the government decision making and a lot of the bargaining happens when a coalition is born, happens behind closed doors and happens trading interests for one another. What does the government do once it's elected, once it's there? What does it do? Well, first of all, it holds the highest executive power in Finland, together with the president. And it means that the government makes decisions and prepares does some of the preparatory and the procedural work so that the president can decide what she or he must decide. But the government's most guiding document and most important document is the government program. So the government gets to decide how they will proceed. And in order to make this known, they prepare the government program. The government program is a plan of action agreed by the parties who participate in the government, but then it's also binding for the parties. So as signing the government program, the parties actually say, we will abide by this program in any of the votes in the parliament that call this program into question. And so the government program sets out the main tasks that the government thinks it has ahead of it, and also immediately then communicates this to the parliament. And the prime minister monitors then the implementation of the program. But in terms of the everyday working of the parliament, the government program therefore binds over half of the parliament MPs, of the parliamentary members, to vote in a certain way so that the parliament program will be upheld. And here is an excerpt from the current government's program that states that this is a strategic program of reform. So in the beginning of their tenure, usually every government kind of tries to give a picture of their times. And this government says that we live in times of needing strategic reformation of many structures and of many policies. The overriding objective, the government says, of this program is to raise the employment rate to 72%. So this is clearly a program that has been made during a crisis time, during time when economic pressures and unemployment and other even outside of Finnish borders originating problems required rapid actions and require substantial change.